Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, we are going to be talking about Chris Evans returning for Avengers Doomsday. The Wrap have just reported that Chris Evans has been cast in Avengers Doomsday and it is currently unknown on who he will be playing. Deadline have also reported that Anthony Mackie will officially return as Captain America for Avengers Doomsday. So this is very interesting because at the moment, all of us are speculating who Chris Evans could be playing in this project. We don't have to wait until Avengers Secret Wars. Chris Evans will show up for Avengers Doomsday, and I believe that he will be playing a very important character. So what we're going to be doing in this video is speak about the theories. Is he going to be a villain or a hero? So far, this is the reported cast for Avengers Doomsday. We have Chris Evans, Anthony Mackie, Robert Downey Jr., Benedict Cumberbatch, Tom Holland, Pedro Pascal, Vanessa Kirby, Joseph Quinn, Eben Moss, and some members from the Thunderbolts. It's not going to be all of them, but maybe one or two. And so here's the thing. Who's not surprised that Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Evans are going to be back? Like, obviously, these two actors have to be back for the return of Avengers. After 7 to 8 years of waiting, of course, we have to see these two actors, especially knowing that the Russo brothers are going to be working with the two actors that they have worked with before, and especially Chris Evans. The Russo brothers have made The Winter Soldier, The Civil War, Infinity War, and Endgame with Chris Evans. So, of course, we're going to be seeing the actor come back for Doomsday and Secret Wars. It's the most obvious signing that Marvel has made. But the biggest question is, yes, what is the role? Like, who is he going to be? So we are going to be getting onto the theory territory, right? Everything that we are going to be talking about from here moving forward is just theories. It is just speculation. None of this is factual, but we are going to try our best to paint this picture on what Doomsday is going to look like with RDJ and Chris Evans. Now, I do have a lot of trouble seeing Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Evans getting brought back to play the exact same character. Like, I just don't see Robert Downey Jr. playing Iron Man, and I don't see Chris Evans playing Captain America. We already know that Robert Downey Jr. will be playing Victor Von Doom, and I believe that the exact same approach is going to happen with Chris Evans. Chris Evans will not be returning to an Avengers film to play Captain America. Chris Evans is going to be somebody that we have never seen before in our lives. Marvel will be doing something very different, something that is eye-catching, because I believe that when you turn heroes into different characters, that is always going to make us want to watch it even more. Because look, there has been this whole frustration over the past 6 to 7 years. We have been saying in the past 6 to 7 years, we have been introduced to new characters, but now we're ending up with the same people in the end to conclude the multiverse saga. Like, how are you going to introduce the Eternals, Shang-Chi, Miss Marvel, Moon Knight, She-Hulk, right? All of these new characters over the past 6 to 7 years say that this is the brand new face of the Avengers, but only for us to end the multiverse saga with the exact same people that started the Avengers. That wouldn't make any sense. There is that frustration, and I believe that Marvel do know this. Anthony Mackie as well, right? By the time we do get into Doomsday, most likely he probably already made 2 appearances in his own movie, of course, Captain America, Brave New World, and maybe in the Thunderbolts. He might make a small cameo appearance, maybe in a post-credit scene. And do you really think Marvel is going to say we're going to be having 2 Captain Americas for Avengers Doomsday? No, I believe that Marvel is working hard to make sure that Anthony Mackie is the definitive Captain America, and it would be a huge waste of screen time for the Doomsday project to show that Steve Rogers' Captain America exists, and then we also do have Sam's Captain America also existing. It just writes off Anthony Mackie's Captain America fully, and that is why I really do think that the Russo brothers are going to give us a story where we do see Chris Evans playing as a completely different character, and most likely he will be a villain. Like, just imagine this, right? In Avengers Doomsday, we see Tom Holland in shock because he sees the one person that he has always looked up to, right? His mentor, the father that stepped in, Tony Stark, becoming Dr. Doom. We don't know if it's going to be an Iron Man variant. That is going to be for a whole other different conversation, but Tom Holland, Spider-Man, Peter Parker will be looking at Dr. Doom and saying, you look like my mentor that I had a couple of years ago. You look like Tony Stark. And then we do have on the other side Anthony Mackie, aka Sam, the new Captain America, also in shock, just like Peter Parker, looking at his lifelong best friend, or like his co-worker, whatever you want to call it, but seeing how the OG Captain America, the one man that he looked up to, is now going up against them. I believe that us as the fan base cannot be upset about that, because if Marvel does reuse these actors to play the exact same character, then yes, okay, fine, we can be frustrated. But if they're going to come back and reuse these actors to play different characters, we have to give Marvel that type of space, because they can build something really special and something eye-catching, something that the world is going to be in shock with. And it's also going to allow for us, right, and allow Marvel to introduce the brand new Avengers, while you do see characters like Steve Rogers and Tony Stark stepping back and playing completely different characters. Now, let's go into the specifics, right? Now, this is where we do get into like real, actual like theories. All of this is just speculation. None of this is true, but it could be true in a few months. We just never know. So now the next question is, now that we know that Steve Steve Rogers, Captain America, will be making an appearance, but as a different character. And we're not going to be seeing the true Captain America that we have seen in the past 9 years. Who could he be playing? Why is Chris Evans making the return? Okay, so let's run through a couple. Could we see him return as Captain America, Steve Rogers? No, we have just talked about that. It's not going to happen. That is very cheap. Let's move on towards the next one. Could he play old man Steve Rogers? Because we never really saw the old man Steve Rogers die at the end of Endgame. He just passed on the torch to Sam, but it never showed that he really truly died. That could be a possibility. It could be a possibility that maybe we just see old man Steve Rogers to maybe mentor the brand new Avengers. But then again, I don't think so. I believe that role should be given to Sam Wilson, who is going to be mentoring the brand new Avengers. I also think that if you bring, Chris Evans back, you don't want to like really fix his face or something. You really want to show his actual face on the big screen. It's kind of like the Robert Downey Jr. Dr. Doom situation. Like you want to show Robert Downey Jr.'s face for like 50 to 60% of the time and not have him in his mask 100% of the time, because everybody knows who RDJ is. Let's move on towards another speculation. Could he be a different Captain America variant? Could we see Captain America, but as somebody who maybe never took the injection, maybe somebody who was just a softer version of the original Captain America? Maybe, but I just don't think so. I think that Marvel, the Russo brothers, Kevin Feige are going to be taking a 100% different approach for who Chris Evans is going to be playing. Now, could he be Johnny Storm as a Human Torch? We have already seen that. We have seen that on Deadpool 3. I think that we're okay. We're fine. It was fun while it lasted, but he's not going to be playing the Human Torch. No way. If you bring Chris Evans back for Doomsday, he's not going to be playing some sort of side character, and definitely not play Human Torch knowing that you're going to be having the brand new Fantastic Four in this film. Once again, it goes back to what we said before. You want to leave space for the brand new cast members and make sure that those other new actors like Anthony Mackie never just get written off just like that. I believe that Joseph Quinn needs his time to shine. So now let's move on towards the next one. Could he be coming back to play the Hydra Captain America, right? Captain Hydra. I think that this is a huge possibility to see Steve Rogers to finally play Captain Hydra for the first time on the big screen. I mean, like we almost kind of saw that in Endgame when he said Hail Hydra, but could we finally see that in Avengers Doomsday? Now, I really do think that this is a possibility. Like the whole Secret Wars storyline, right? The movie that is going to lead up after Doomsday is all about colliding universes, seeing different variants. Maybe we could see a version of Captain America where he just turned to Captain Hydra, an evil version of Captain America, basically. That would be a crazy thing to see. Like what would happen if characters like Steve Rogers were raised or altered to serve different ideologies or ends? It's going to go completely against the Avengers, which is what we do want to see, and what I believe the Russo brothers are trying to pull off. So Marvel can do something wild here. Like they can be creative. Like we don't have to go so comic accurate. Like what if we can see Captain Hydra as like the right-hand man to Dr. Doom? So we see Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Evans together, but as two of the main villains. That would be pretty cool to see. But now let's move on towards the next one. Could Chris Evans come back to play the Beyonder? And this one excites me even more because now you're putting Chris Evans at the power level of Robert Downey Jr. Like Steve Rogers and Tony Stark are going to be seen as gods, where 7 to 8 years ago we were looking at these two men just trying to do the right thing. But can you imagine Chris Evans as the Beyonder and Robert Downey Jr. as Dr. Doom? Because here's the thing, in Secret Wars 2, the Beyonder actually goes to Earth and gives himself a human body based off Steve Rogers. Like the Beyonder takes on the physical form because he wanted to understand and explore the human desires and other emotions. He originally made himself look like Owen Reese, the Molecule Man, but then when he saw Steve Rogers as Captain America, he's like, I want to be like him. I want to look like him, act like him, and he took on that type of look. So like he did change his hair, his eyebrow color, and gave himself and emulated Steve's body. Could we see something like that take place? And the Beyonder is a huge character for the Secret Wars storyline. Once again, it's a completely different character to what Chris Evans played before. Like we're not gonna bring back Chris Evans just so he can play the exact same character. It would be for somebody monumentally different. And to have Robert Downey Jr. go from Iron Man to Dr. Doom, and from Chris Evans going from Captain America to the Beyonder, is like, bro, like this is it. Like this is something that we want to see. We want to see the brand new Avengers go up against the OG Avengers, the main two lead actors, but basically in God form. God Emperor Doom and the Beyonder. Holy crap, dude. I really do think the Russo brothers are cooking something amazing here. So let me know in the comment sections down below. What do you think about Chris Evans returning for Avengers Doomsday? And who do you believe he will be playing? Once again, let me know in the comment sections down below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.